Stand back, Sideswipe. It's my turn.
I'm not really tired, but if you insist.
Welcome back to the Talk Jeremy. This is Mike coming at you with the fantastic model FM-05 Rambo, or Fans Toy Sideswipe. Same difference, and I'll probably say it again in this video, but I really didn't think this character was like top tier enough to have to put it in a code name like Fantastic Model. But it's still a pretty good looking figure. It's got its pluses and minuses, good and bad, and all that kind of fun stuff. But I did get this at Shows You Store. It's going to say kind of pre-order and then sold out over the pre-order, which means that they've got more stock after they fill all the pre-orders. I expect to see more going up. And with that, I'm going to link down below where you can get yours. TH helps support the reviewer. I do try to match the box with the pose. See if I can do it. I think I did. Pretty good right there. But let's take a look at this guy. Rambo, Fantastic Model. Without further ado, coming up. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get this unboxing done before we do anything with this. But here it is. Looking kind of, well, kind of like Fans Toys, kind of like Takara. Kind of different because it's still Fantastic Model. I never really viewed Sideswipe as one that needs to be put under an alternate name. I know people act like he's a big character. He's not that huge of a character. I don't think Takara or Fans Toys would have a problem with. But I guess the fact that they're going to reuse this mold in some iteration 5 times, 4 times, something like that, several times, but at least 2, if not, well, at least 2. Okay, the Dotson brothers will get like 5. But anyway, that's not the thing I was most concerned about. It's when I open it up, it's just like crazy up in here. I don't do unboxings, so I just really don't have time to do unboxings and then do the review and all that. But he's got the oiling on him, which is fine. It's not the end of the world, but he is definitely not ready to go out the box. So getting him out of here, he's gonna need some work just to get him out. But yeah, he's in there kind of strange. We're just gonna have to kind of put him together. His arms are not correct, like they're not locked in place. So you have to lock them in place. So there's quite a bit of work that's gonna need to get done with the guy, and then like all of this, like this has to get connected. This has to slide into place. There's quite a bit that's going to have to go on with this guy. Anyway, I'm going to fiddle with it a bit. Which it is what it is. I'm just not used to it being this much on a Fans Toys figure. There's usually 2 or 3 things, but yeah, I'll get back. All right, let's take a look at this guy. You know he only exists because DX9 put theirs out. Fans Toys like, I got to win. We got to win. Yeah, we'll get into comparison. I'll give you my ideas about each one, but here we go. Leave them in my opening pose, or AKA the pose they gave him on the box. Can he do it? He can do it. And I really like the fact that he can do the pose that's on the box. And all that fun stuff. But he wasn't fun putting together. They actually did have him looking like he's doing the gotcha thing. It's not below the waist, so it's a it's a loss. It's a lose there. All right, so a good looking figure overall. He does have the weight and heft that you expect from a Fans Toys figure. He does have the polish and paint and shine and sheen and all that good stuff that you'd expect from a Fans Toys figure. Nice tightness, feels good. So lots of the same old stuff with all that. Now I did tab everything back in the way I believe it should be. I do kind of feel like there's still a lot going on up here. I tabbed everything in that appeared to need to be tabbed to the sides, up here. But this part here just seems like I should be able to tab that in a little bit better. Anyway, when I go back to robot mode after I'm done with the review, obviously, I will deep dive that just a bit more for myself personally. But looking at this guy, he's painted head to toe, but very simplistic and very, for the most part, very tuned to the detriment. That I like. I like the tune to a detriment. But at the same time, because there's so much complexity to this figure. He does have line work that probably was unintended, like line work right here, unintended line work, a whole lot of stuff going on the top, probably unintended line work, this slight bit of line work on the thigh, a little bit going on right here, which is, I think that's just purely paint right there, going with the kind of the wider lower legs. Like, some people like the wider lower legs, some people like the silver. I kind of like both. Like, it's, I could take silver or white for the feet, so I'm okay with that. I'm fine with all that. Does have kind of the reflective sort of headlights going on right there. Carries over from the alt mode. But yeah, overall looking pretty good. I mean, I don't really, aesthetically, we will get into, I still feel like this is a little too thick on the side. I always have felt that way. I kind of felt like his shoulders were too small in pictures, but in person it feels okay. And then all the kibble on the side of the arms isn't really that bad. The window, I mean, yeah, it's not that bad. Stuff that just in the pictures bothers me less in person. Just a little bit less in person. So quickly, articulation, side to side, up and down. So it's not just ball joint and then that head popped out. That's kind of, it popped in. I mean, it's going to hold its pose just fine. 90? Almost 90? Nope. That's all I'm getting right there. I'm not going to flex it too hard. Of course, got the 360, bicep swivel, double joint. And then, of course, if you want to undo that tab in the back, you can get more with that. I don't know if you don't really need more. It's more of a transformation piece to change up that shoulder, which could be problematic in the future. Ratcheted waist swivel. A nice ab crunch. It's got a decent ab crunch. Not quite magic square, but it's pretty close. Then we have friction out to the side. And then you have a hiding hip flap, which I'm a fan of hiding hip flaps. I think that's engineering that we should try to integrate as often as possible. Thigh swivel. Single jointed knee. Well, 8 joints to the knee. We've got some up and down on this, and you can kind of wiggle it out and get a little more out of that foot if you wanted to, which is nice. I mean, that's nice if you can give it a little bit more range to wiggle out, and then you can seat it back in. That's fine with me. So that's about it for the I didn't get a butterfly. I couldn't get a butterfly joint out of it. I mean, I'm not really too worried about it. Here are his accessories, almost accessory. It's a lot of stuff. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it's quite a bit. So there's one for his gun. We got one right here for blast effect for his cannons. That's a thing that you want it to do. These are for alt mode and should just, since there's my camera, you can pick that up. 2 holes. You utilize both holes in that. Does have the pile drivers, which I never use, but it's a, what do you call it? Obligatory, kind of. Let's fold this down. Bring this up. Fold this in. It's kind of a narrow passage, so you want to have the hand up or down so that you can get that in there. And then I like this one the most, so we'll plug this one in. As you can see, the cavity is deep on the right side, but narrow, shallow on the other side, so you have to go one way with it. And we've got his pile driver in there, which I will never do again. It's just obligatory, has to be in there. I mean, the toy had it and all that. It's same thing with this meat pounder. Pounding some meat. We're gonna look at these faces down here, and let's get a zoom in. I don't know if it's getting washed out or not, but kind of got a stoic face, a smiling face, a frowny face, a yelling face. Probably getting washed out. I don't know if it's better with or without the light on, so I guess I'll do it both ways. Anyway, well, without the extra lights. Sometimes it washes out, especially this kind of the white It's off-white paint. Take two. We're going to compare it to DX9 and Takara, and I'm going to tell you which ones, well, I like the most. I'm going to say that this figure looks great, but there's things I like more about DX9, like the shoulders. Whether or not it's cartoon accurate, I guess I could look all that up and figure all that out. But in my mind's eye, I like the shoulders better. I also like the thinness of the side of the legs. And I knew it from the pictures, but then we get into the fans toys, and with fans toys, I do like the midsection better. I feel like it's too wide. Like he's got some wide hips for no reason. And I think they're about equal with what's going on the forearms. That still kind of equals out on the side. This one's cleaner on the bottom of the forearm and all that. So here's the way I see it. And I'm just going to say, hey, like I'm not getting a kickback whether you buy him or you go on eBay and buy him for $50 or $40. If you have the DX9, I really don't see any reason to quote unquote upgrade to the fans toys unless you just want to have the fans toys, because the DX9 still looks great. But for me personally, this will be the one that goes on my display shelf because all over does kind of blend together just a little bit better. But again, like an X-Transbots comparison, I'm only saying it's 12% better, even though shoulders I like better, the cleanness of the forearms, the sides of the lower legs, DX9 does stuff better. Over here, this one does one thing better. It's an easier, smoother transformation. And that is it. The fact that you have to go through all the trouble to condense the chest. This transformation, both of these transformations are pretty ridiculous in my opinion, but a lot of it has to do with getting that perfect in both. This one is just an easier transformation. That's the only thing it's got. It looks, the day I got it, I thought, oh, we can do way better than this. I mean, this looked like it doesn't fit with Prowl. It doesn't fit with Wheeljack from Takara. It doesn't fit with any of the other Carbots. It still looks like it's made by a whole different company in a whole different era, even 13 years ago. You want a review, not story time, but something you're going to see later that it's gonna aggravate people. But when I was collecting in the early days, I only had a few Masterpiece. They made all the different colors of this guy, and so I was like, oh well, let me pull the yellow Tiger Tracks out and display it. And then after I had got about 50 of them in my collection, and I was like, well, let me go ahead and put a real one of these out. But all the red in the early days, there's just a lot of red, and just having a different color breakup. So then I put my Tiger Tracks in alt mode. You're gonna see it later, and I got accused of copying people. But this is it next to Fans Toys Magic Square, and I think this is a really good size comparison, but a bad angle. So here he is next to X-Transbots. This is my favorite, by the way, the one they've made so far with the Constructicons toy version. And then this is is it Paragon? Is he Paragon? I think it's what they call him. But for the Defensor, which seems like that has just stopped. Defensor stopped. Well, we got 2 arms, and is that about it? Anyway. Oh, and 2 legs. Yeah, so we just need the main one. That's where we're at. But size-wise, I still think he should have been taller. Wish I was a little bit taller. And here he is next to the G1, just so we know where we came from, where we are going, all that fun stuff, where we've been. By the way, mine's not complete, not in great shape, and feel free to make fun of me in the comments, all you like. I am going to wait for the Missing Link version, if they make it. If not, I don't know. Never really... Sideswipe was never really one of my favorite characters, to tell you the truth. So it is what it is. Hope I didn't hurt anyone's feelings. Now for the transformation, and I am going to pull this out. I didn't talk about this. It's a strange little lower tab that tabs into the bottom of the hand. It's probably an aesthetic thing. I don't think it works the best, but it's not horrible. But let's start out with just getting a few things cleaned up on this transformation here. We'll pull this down, open this up, and then close the fists, turn them so they fit. I guess pointed up's the best because it gives you more. You can grab the thumb to pull it out. And then with that in there, we can fold this stuff here out. Fold this out. Build the door. And we want to do that on both arms. Now for the leg, I did one, so I'm really fresh on how this goes. But you want to untab this wheel and all that, which that was tabbed in really well. That's pretty nice, actually. And we're going to look at it from a side view here. And as you see, this came untabbed. We are going to flip that around. And then it's going to tab back in. But we're going to close up this. And then this. And then we're going to bring it up here and just fold it in. Fold that bad boy in. Bring out the exhaust pipes. Bring out this piece. Well, you have to fold this piece in to bring this piece out. Which on the other leg, it's still there. No, it did it on its own. I didn't have to do that. It did it on its own. Now, when you get here, there's an access point right here. Axis point right here, which disconnects the back of the leg. Now, it turns out I didn't have this connected right here. So I'm going to show you. This piece here is supposed to be connected to the back leg, which is part of why my leg was a little floppy, which it wasn't the end of the world, so I didn't complain about it much. But now I tucked that away at this point. So didn't have mine on there. Wasn't the end of the world. Now we're going to bring this up here. Nope, we got to fold the leg in. This is a weird kind of situation. We doesn't just go straight in. You have to work this double joint. So you have to kind of let it move. Actually, I'm going to do it better like this. It's kind of upside down. But just like the other one, this kind of moves back. So this is going to push back into there, and then it's all going to slide in. That's how that joint works, which is a weird joint. It's all right, though. This needs to be closed up before you tab it in. Tabs here and here. Gets it together. Then on the back, we can push. Let's get it together right now. There's a tab here, and then a triple tab system going on in the back. And so when you tab this front one in, that's going to tab. And in the back, you're going to need to kind of like fiddle with it to get it to go in. Okay, so the one on my right is going to go up. Well, let's flip around now. So on the left, there's a over-under tab right here. So that, you just need to kind of like get that working. It's kind of funny. The over-under tabs are on opposite sides for the fender. Which if you get the lower ones in first, then the fender can flex. And then you can over-under the fender like that. And we've got the back pretty much done. All right, the upper body is a little more involved. And I do want to say, make sure that you have these parts here folded around. And that's going to keep flopping, but just I didn't do that in the beginning, which I probably should have, but getting prepared for the next step. Just want to have everything kind of ready to go as we can. Now, mine didn't tab in very well right here, so that's real easy for everything to just come back. It all comes untabbed at the same time if you do that. And then we're going to separate the chest. It actually is on a slider. A bit of a slider, and so I feel like this is a very delicate piece of the transformation. Then we need to come right here, just kind of pull up and untab this segment so that we can get out the hood pieces here. And we're going to start seeing it take a little bit of shape and form. This needs to come out right there. These pieces here on the sides here, these are going to slide around, and then we need to fold this in like so, which probably not the daintiest way to do it. Maybe I should fold it in before like that and then slide it around So what it does is it kind of solidifies the back at the same time. And then we have this front hood. So you can see it's starting to take shape, take form. It's going to come back here. All that good stuff. But we got to do a lot bit up top here. So we're going to fold this around, and then we got some different parts and pieces. The head's just going to tuck into this area here, and then it needs to go down enough so that we can get some work done. And then before we kind of close all that up, we do kind of want to get the arms in place. So the arms are a little tricky. So tricky. Well, let's close that up. And then we're going to open up this section here that builds the wheel well. And I'm not sure if I probably should be zoomed in a little bit more on it. So we're kind of bringing this out here, building up the wheel well. So, it's just how you make it go from all these little parts. You go from one to the other. Then we're at the point where we're going to flip it around and get the wheel. I feel like it was hanging up on this. So we are going to get this up, straight up, so it gets the clearance. It was hanging up on that. And then roll around. And this isn't really a hard part. It's just I don't want to break anything. So I'm going to go a little slow. I just had it. What? Held it up. Just kind of rotate around. I mean, it should be a lot easier than that to rotate it around. But anyway, we're going to get it into this configuration. We can go ahead and close this front piece up like we had it. Flip the switches and smack the door. So from here, we flip the switch up. We're going to roll it out. Roll out. And then this will tab into here. So we built that wheel well. We're going to lift this up. We're going to bring out this using nature spudgers. And we're going to connect this tab to this. So, we got to have that flap open. Duh. I screwed that up. It's not going to work if you don't have the flap open. Okay. Anyway, let's get into this. The tab into there. I understand it's always tight on every copy. Really tight. So this might take me a little bit. I did indeed get it off camera. I just had to give it some good old-fashioned pressure and trust the materials for the most part is what I did there. It's coming along really nicely. So all this is lining up. We've got to do the other arm. That was such a mess. I guess I'll do the other arm on camera. I really would rather just burn through it real fast and move on to the next step. But all right, let's do it. This one isn't pretty. It could get edited out. Well, the other side wasn't pretty, so. All right, so we are going to try to roll this around. Maybe this one goes easier. I don't know. But we've got to roll it around. We've got to get it. I'm having trouble with the whole rolling it around part. Like it's getting hung up. I'm probably doing something wrong, but I really feel like this feels like an X-Transbots kind of situation where you're moving stuff past stuff. And I'm just not used to all that. But anyway, flip this switch up. Roll this out to the side. And then I guess I can just look at my other side here. How did I get that? So that's got to seat in. Oh, well, maybe it's the slider sliding in. That's causing a little bit of trouble. Okay. Well, I mean, we're past it, so it's not a big deal, but I was kind of curious why that was giving me so much trouble. And then we got to get this arm up here. This will tab in to here. Not the prettiest transformation I've ever done. But most of my transformations aren't the prettiest anyway, so. On par. It's par for the course, Mike. Yeah. Somebody asked us, like, you actually do transformation videos? Edit. I forgot to open that again. Ah, man. Maybe that's it. Like, just that's it. I forgot to open that. So stupid. Such easy. So easy. So that I will edit that so people don't try to do what I did wrongly. Just give it that pressure. Sort of trust in the materials. Like right there, it is exactly lined up. It just needs the pressure, maybe a little wiggle. Too much wiggle though, you could break something. Too much wiggle, you can move that little piece. The piece does, it is a rotating piece, which is part of the problem. Anyway, off camera it takes 10 seconds. That was more like 3 minutes of still fiddling with it off camera to get it to this level. Not the funnest. Push this. Okay, get these tabs here. So there's a lower slot from what came in, and then that. So we're gonna push this into place. After messing with that, this is just the fun factor, which is never really fun, but the little bit of fun factor there could have been is kind of gone away. We do need to pull up this piece from the hood. It's going to come down into here. Now this is another section that's going to pose a little issue, and it's to get this stuff tabbed in. But here's how you get it. You just spread this and then tab it in. Just spread that and tab it in. Again, something else I'm going to be able to do a lot better off camera, getting all these segments in. But there's a side tab that's right there. It needs to go in, and I'll get all that done. I'll be right back. All right, here is the alt mode, covered in my fingerprints. Beautiful paint. Should have like a cloth. I swear I had my fingers all over this thing. Not in a good way, in a bad way. But looks fantastic. Looks absolutely fantastic. And I gotta say, probably the best looking Lamborghini in the Masterpiece line yet. So I will give them that. It is a pain in the butt to transform this thing, as you just witnessed. And yeah, close all this up. Get that. To open all this all the way, you do kind of mess up the bumper, but it is what it is. And some stuff comes undone there, but let's give it a spin. A closed up spin, and I'm giving extra light on it because it deserves it. So I will say that the only negative would be probably the windows, because you see that there's nothing going on in there. Nothing. Well, okay, there's a bunch of junk going on in there, and that's about all there is to it. You do have pop-up lights here, and this just kind of wants to come up on me. Push that back down. But we got some pop-up lights, as you can see, so that's a fun thing, a fun aspect of it. Good stuff going on there. But yeah, good looking vehicle mode. Beautiful paint. The rims are chrome. It rolls like it should. How many different phrases do people use for rolling? As rolling things should, but we're going to get into something that I didn't even notice. Like I didn't watch all of Pake's live stream. I just watched part of it. But accessorizing. All right, so we can plug these in, and we can have some exhaust, which, like exhaust fire. That is insane. That is insane. And then you can bring this puppy over, and there's like a clip, C-clip, and then there's a tab on the side of this, so plug that in. And although I'm terrified of plugging it in, I'm going to try to rest it on there. It will scratch paint. I'm going to rest it on there instead of just plugging it all the way in, because it will scratch the paint. But yeah, you can plug that in. And I bet if you had it plugged in, it would articulate up a little higher because it moves. Or is that maxed out? So that's maxed out about as high as it's going to go, like that. But yeah, I'm going to rest it there. Pretty cool that you can integrate the weapons and all that. Very nice. For comparisons, this is the original G1. As you can see, my window's been blown out. It's not bad for $5 in 2020, 2000, 2002, something like that's when I got it. In a lot, but where we come from, where we are going. So it's how much bigger this is than a vintage one. Rolls better than my vintage one too, but in all reality, it's not like massively larger than a vintage one. Kind of strange. And then here it is next to tracks. It's on track for being with tracks. Here it is next to Cup 2.0. That's actually able to transform from X-Transbots. Big old truck. It's a big old truck. Space truck. We got a little MNC Sphinx. You can get an idea right there. Who'd win in a race? The Lamborghini or the race car? I think the race car would win. Then we've got, I guess it's supposed to be that big. It's supposed to be actually way bigger than that, but it's a mini-bot. So Spindrift 2.0, and I guess just for fun, since this is a cool looking vehicle, is this also Sideswipe? What? And now for the most offensive thing I've ever done on YouTube, according to viewers that watched my channel 6 years ago. Comparing this to Tiger Tracks. Yes. The Takara. Because I have it handy. Had it in my display because it was too much red in the early days. But here we go. I have a tremendous amount of respect for KOs. So mine is keep it in the box. Mint condition. Perfection. It's kind of popped out a little bit. But Fans Toys is cleaner. Fans Toys looks better, in my opinion. So if you look and you see the old Takara version has all these panels over here, and of course it's yellow, so the yellows don't match exactly. But yeah, that is how it looks in comparison to the Takara, which I would suggest, like, if you have your Takara, it's a decent Lamborghini mode. I mean, a Lamborghini still looks good. Fans Toys does look better. I don't have the DX9 in alt mode, or I don't care to go through the trouble of putting it in alt mode, but I would say that I still think this looks better than the Fans Toys is better than the DX9 in the alt mode. The alt mode is just spectacular. Even with the clear windows and knowing that there's just like a bunch of junk in there you can see, still looks amazing. It's a very nice alt mode. And this is dated, but you have to understand this is like in the very, very, very early days of Masterpiece. This just came out. So I look at Fantastic Model FM-05 Rambo, and I gotta say that he looks good. Kind of everything you expect from Fans Toys for the most part. Do feel like some, like the knees and kind of that chest area, a little on the fiddly side because there's just so much going on with it. But overall, pretty good looking figure. Again, there's some of the design cues that I would have built up the shoulders a little bit more, but maybe that's not perfectly cartoon accurate. It's a little bit much on the side of the legs, but they did get kind of the whole midsection just right. So they've done a lot of really good things with it. Overall, it looks good. It will be mine on my main shelf. Transformation's not fun, but we knew that. If you watched Bake for Life's live stream, you knew it was not going to be fun. But anyway, let me know what you guys think about this. I'm going to have a link down below where you can possibly get yours. They have more stock that'll be going up after they fill all the pre-orders, which is good. And remember, TH helps with the review, all that stuff, help channel, all that great stuff. But I do want to hear what you guys think about this. I mean, especially from the comparison section. Which one did you like the look of the most? And with that, thanks for watching. Titanium Hanger out.
Megatron. Come in, Megatron.
What is our status?
The first batch of ore should be transported in 2 hours.
We'll be transported, Hook.
Tunneling under those villages is taking longer than I figured.
You and your shortcuts.
I still think this is the best way to go. You'll see. Whoa!
That's no way to travel, little fella.
Yeah. Next time I'll call a cab.